just scared me. So as much as I loved the idea of getting married, I was like, okay, well, I don't want this person to all of a sudden change, and also will I change, because I do think it takes two to tango, right? Like, I think everybody, like, maybe my mom changed, I don't know, like I said, I was very young, I don't really know the circumstances, but, I think anybody could change if you're male, female, whatever, if it's for better or for worse. So, when I got married, it changed for the absolute better. Like, we obviously got engaged because I was so in love, right? I was so in love with him. We were so in love with each other. And when I first met him, it was during quarantine. You just come out, hang out, whatever. Kind of very just casual. And then once we got engaged, he started doing a lot more for me. One of his acts of love, to show love, is acts of service, right? Like love language, if you will. So he just started to do like so much for me, right? Like literally so much. I was just like, I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to someone like taking out the garbage or bringing flowers or calling appointments for me, or calling the gas company, whatever was the reason. So he just started doing more stuff, and we lived together. But essentially, we lived at my house because he had a place that he lived in. But it was kind of downtown LA. I didn't really feel comfortable going there, so he would stay with me in the valley during quarantine. And so we basically lived together for like 5 months. And then after 5 months of living together, it was kind of this like, I guess you would say like the fork in the road, right? Like, do we want to go forward and like get married, or like for me personally, I really wanted to be married with children. So it was almost a little bit of an ultimatum, because when I met him, I was 31. And like, yeah, I wanted to have kids. So I was like, I need to know if this is actually, I think I was 31, just about to turn 32 when I met him. And I was like, I need to know, right? Like, I need to know. So I was like 32 when we made this decision. And, it was kind of uncertain. Like, we didn't spend Thanksgiving together that year because I wasn't like, okay, come to my family holidays. Like, if we're not going to be serious, like, I thought we might be broken up. I don't know. Because I really need to find someone who wanted the same things, essentially. And I don't know, like, at the time, he just didn't communicate if he wanted them or not. So we ended up looking at houses together, mostly because each of us was looking to buy a house at the same time, and we had literally almost to the dollar the exact amount of money saved up in his savings and my savings. We had almost to a T, like to the cent, almost like the exact same amount of money saved up, which was exactly like our down payment on this house. So we put our entire savings into what became our house. But we would go look at houses together. He wanted to live by the beach, I wanted to live in Calabasas, where the Kardashians lived, and we didn't end up moving to either space. We actually moved even stood by me, and no one has ever done that. No one I've ever dated, when things got tough or rough or icky, like I was cut like that. Like it's happened, and I wouldn't say that it wasn't because it wasn't love. I mean, maybe it wasn't. Maybe they truly didn't love me. But even if you truly love someone, sometimes those hardships are just too hard to like weather through. But he weathered through that year with me, and then we came out so much stronger and so much tougher. And when we got married, it just felt like us against the world for real. And just through that, and through my spiritual journey and soul searching and all of the above, you know, we got through, and telling me to like jiggle my belly or whatever, because I was supposed to be like the fat Jessica Simpson, which ironically I was 50 pounds lighter than I am now. I was like 180. But Eminem Marshall, as he introduced himself to me, he was very like, you look great, like you look better than like the real Jessica. Like he was really, really nice. So I have to say I was a little like, oh, my belly. I think that's the first time I wore like my belly out. Actually, no, the Amy Winehouse video, Tears Dry on Their Own, a year prior, my belly was out, and I didn't want it out. I had a silver sequin corset, but the director, David LaChapelle, he's like, I hate sequins, take it off. And I was like, but my belly, he's like, take it off. And my belly looked fine, by the way. I was like 18 years old in that video. So this is like the second time I showed my belly, and it was like a couple years later, and so I gained a little weight, and I was like nervous, but then I was like, you know what, I was hired to play the fat Jessica Simpson, so who cares, whatever. But yeah, it's always like, and you know what, actually about Jennifer Aniston, I feel like I never talk about this story, and it was very, very brief, but Jennifer Aniston offered me seaweed one time. It was on the set of a movie called Wanderlust, and it just sucks so much if the director or anyone associated with that movie ever sees this. Like, I was supposed to be in the end credits. This guy, this actor named Joe Lo Truglio, he's like, I'm sure I'm butchering his name, but he's in a lot of these kind of movies. He had like a fake book inside the movie that he wrote, and he was supposed to be like a politician, and then we were supposed to be like his trophy wife, and they had 3 different girls that were supposed to stand next to him for this fake book cover, and it was gonna play in the credits or something. But I don't think anyone made the cut. Like, the other 2 girls were very thin and the classic beautiful. I was more like this, like I was overly tan and like had this big, I was more like a caricature. But oh man, we shot at Universal Studios. The movie was called Wanderlust. Malene Ackerman, and there was a huge cast. Jennifer Aniston, I want to say Justin Theroux was in it. We shot at the Universal backlot. It was like the most magical day of my life. I like loved it so much. I felt like such a star. I would give anything to shoot at Universal Studios again. That's like my dream. Desperate Housewives, all of that. But yeah, if anyone at Wanderlust, in the Wanderlust movie, has those deleted scenes, because we like shot footage of like us like looking at each other and like, I don't know if it was footage or if it was just pictures. I think it was footage. That was cool. Anyways, Jennifer Aniston was in the movie, and when I was in the hair and makeup trailer, Jennifer Aniston was in there too, and she was so tiny and so beautiful, and she had seaweed that she was like eating out of a tray, and she like offered it to everyone, and then she like offered it to me, and I was just like, oh, like so nice. And I want to say Malene Ackerman was in there, but I can't remember. I think she was, and everyone was very nice in there, including Jennifer Aniston, and I thought that was like so cool. And yeah, that's my meeting Jennifer Aniston story. I think it was called Wanderlust. Let me look that up. I could be saying it wrong, but that was a while. That was maybe, I don't know, 2009. Was it 2009? Let's see. I probably looked at 2012. Oh, and I think the director. Oh, I see the director. Oh, David Wayne and Ken Marino. Oh no, that's the screenplay. David Wayne was the director. Oh, David Wayne was the director, but I didn't see him there. You know, I saw there was Ken Marino. Was the guy I saw when I was there? So I don't know if any of them. I was there. I have my little card from Universal. No one ever believed me when I was like a featured background in these movies, because I'd always get cut from like everything, and I was like, oh, I swear I was in these. So there's certain things that I made the cut, Modern Family and stuff. But yeah, we talked about Jennifer Aniston a few podcasts back, and I was like, oh, it's so annoying. She doesn't like social media. It's like, you sound like a boomer. But then in that same interview, she talked about her struggles with getting pregnant and her fertility treatments that didn't work. And I was like, oh, so it broke my heart. It was right after I did the last podcast that I read that, and I was like, oh man, she did try. I guess she did try getting pregnant with fertility treatments, and it just didn't work. And my heart broke for her, because not only is it super tough, like when you want children, and like it doesn't happen for you, but also like the media just being like, you know, Brad wanted kids and she didn't, or like, you know, people. I think